Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. I've got about 2 or 3 projects that are sort of in the beginning stages right now, so nothing that I can really specifically show you there. But I did recently ditch my 4K monitor that I've been using for the past 2 years for a 1440p gaming monitor. So I really like it. I've been using it for a couple of weeks, and I just kind of wanted to give you guys some general thoughts and impressions on why I really feel like this is a monitor that someone could consider. So to sort of go over the basic specs and kind of get those out of the way, this is the Dell S2417DG. It's a 24-inch 1440p monitor. It ships at 144 hertz, but it is overclockable to 165 hertz. You just do that through the menu. It's very easy to do. And it is a TN panel with a 1 millisecond response time, and it has G-Sync. So it kind of checks off all the boxes on what I would consider sort of the perfect brew of specs for a gaming monitor. Now, some of you may argue that since it is a TN panel rather than IPS, that would be a shortcoming. And if perfect color accuracy is important to you, then sure, I would agree with you there. But if you're just looking for the best possible gaming performance, that faster response time is actually going to benefit you more than that color accuracy. And to be quite honest, these newer TN panels are so good that, yeah, they're not as good as IPS when it comes to color reproduction, but they're pretty darn close. And as far as the viewing angles go, whoever looks at their monitor other than straight on anyway, so to me that's not really a big deal. And as a personal preference, that light bleed that you get on IPS panels, not all, but some coming from the edges, sort of bothers me. So I'm perfectly happy with this. I do some content creation on this monitor, but I'm not really that worried about having perfect color accuracy, at least not at that point. All right, guys, so I want to give you a closer look here, get a little hands-on with the monitor. And I want to start off by just commenting on the overall style of the monitor. And that is one of the big things that drew me to this one over the competition. For instance, Acer is also putting out a 24-inch 1440p monitor. I'm not sure about Asus, but if they did, I think I know what to expect. This pretty much looks like any Dell monitor that's come out in the last 100 years. They haven't really changed their style very much, but I'm okay with that. I like the sort of understated, more, I guess you could call it more of a professional look. These thin bezels are gorgeous. I like the fact that they didn't feel the need to put any sort of quote-unquote gamery style features into this. If it weren't for the G-Sync logo on the base, you would look at this monitor and you may not even really realize that it is a gaming monitor. But obviously the specs speak for themselves. Aside from that, it's got all the normal features you would expect from a monitor. It's got the swivel feature, which I don't really know who uses that. Height adjustable, which is always nice. Tilt, and the you can rotate the monitor, which again, the only time I use that is just to plug this stuff in. So you've got USB pass-through, you've got your HDMI and DisplayPort, power. It does have speakers. I'm not going to comment on the speakers because I never use monitor speakers, and it's whatever. They're monitor speakers. I don't know if you're going to reinvent the wheel there. Power and menu buttons here. And then on the left side of the monitor, you get a couple more USB 3.0 outputs. One of them is a charging port, and then you have a headphone jack. So yeah, pretty much covers all the bases on anything that you would expect from a monitor in a very sleek and stylish form factor. Now, you can make fun of me and call me an old man, but I rather enjoy the fact that I can have this monitor sitting on my desk and not feel like a 16-year-old kid with all the flashy gamer accents on some of these newer monitors now. And that's not to take anything away from, the quality of those monitors. They're awesome, but I just prefer this sort of look over the stylized gamer look of the competitors. Now, the last thing here I want to sort of talk about is the size of this monitor. Now, I have it sitting next to my 28-inch 4K monitor to sort of help illustrate my point here, but I've always felt that 24 inches is the perfect size for a monitor. It doesn't take up too much space on your desk, and for me personally, I just don't need it to be any bigger. I have good eyes, and I would prefer a tighter pixel density over larger form factor. Now, that's obviously personal preference, but for me, I like that 24-inch size. Now, I've been using the 28-inch for a couple of years now because 4K really is only available in larger sizes, but what sort of detracted me from trying out 1440p at 27 inches is that I just haven't really been impressed with the picture, and for what I would pay for it, to me it just wasn't really worth it. I just didn't even really notice a huge difference between 1080p 24-inch monitors and 1440p 27-inch monitors. The pixel density just really isn't that big of a difference. However, when you shrink that down to 24 inches, now you get a 25% improvement in pixel density over the 1080p version of a 24-inch monitor. So now finally I'm looking at this monitor and I'm not really seeing the pixels that I would see at 27 inches. So now maybe you could say this is just me being picky, but I have been wanting 1440p in a 24-inch size for a while now. And when I saw that they were finally going to be releasing it, I actually got really excited. Now, the final thing that really sold me on this monitor and actually made it a very easy choice was the price. Now, when you consider previously that 27-inch 1440p monitors were going for anywhere from $600 to $800, you would expect a smaller size would yield a slightly less of a price, but this monitor here goes for $400. Well, I think Dell has it listed at $429, but I bought it for $400. I've even seen it going for less than that, but for all of the features that you get from a gaming perspective and the nice design of this monitor, at $400, I mean, it's to me, it's a no-brainer. So now that you guys have heard my opinion, I'd love to hear yours. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Would you consider this the perfect gaming monitor right now? Is it something you're considering? I think that if you're in the market for a new monitor and you're looking at 1440p, you should definitely take a serious look at this. If you prefer a larger monitor, hey, by all means, go for it. But for the price and the performance, I'm not so sure you could beat this one. I appreciate any feedback you guys want to leave. Make sure to give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one.